Hello. Today I want to talk about living in the now. And I want to get three things across. First, this idea of living in date-tight compartments. Second, what is under your control? And that is a question. What is under your control? Third, the best time to start. So let's start with the first one. Living in date-tight compartments. This is a principle from Sir Williams Osler. He would also say our main business is to do what lies clearly at hand. And it seems simple, right? Just focus on what's in front of you. But why isn't that truly simple when it comes to the execution? Well, first, we all spend a lot of time living in the past, right? We relive these scenarios in our life of failures and disappointments and fear and anger and being discouraged, all these things from their past that we relive and we relive the emotions in the process, right? So these paralyzing emotions, paralyzing habit of reliving the past is very present in all of us, right? Even myself, sometimes I gotta remind myself to stop doing that. Now, what about the opposite end? What about the future? Well, we're constantly anxious about the future, right? And I'll bring you to something that Seneca said here, a Stoic philosopher from 1900 years ago. He would say that even 1900 years ago is already saying, thus it is that foresight, the greatest blessing humanity has been given, is transformed into a curse. So what he's saying, the ability of foresight allows us to plan for the future, to invest in our future, right? But we take foresight to a whole nother extreme where we get so detailed about what we're certain could happen to us that we start getting anxious about it. And 90% of the things that we get anxious about the future don't even end up happening. So we are so consumed by living in the past. Our foresight of the future has become a curse that the only true productive approach to take to life is to live in the now, right? To live in the today and the today only. And there's lots of books on that you can read, and just living in the today. Okay, number two, what is under our control? And that is a question. What is under your control? So we'll go to another Stoic philosopher, Epictetus, also from 1900. He goes in his book here, The Discourses. He would say, even then, and Epictetus was a man born a slave who eventually became a philosophy teacher at his own school, and rich people would send their kids to him to learn how to live a good life, how to be a good man, how to be a good woman. And he would teach there's only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about the things that are beyond the power of our will. So he's saying what? Focus our energy on the things that are within our control. That should be the first filter that you put through impressions or things that happen to you. What is under my control and what isn't? And that should be a template for you to where to focus your energy. Let's give you an example of like my son. My son's 3 years old. So is it under my control what decision he makes from now for the next 20 years? What people he hangs out with, what friends he makes, what habits he picks up or doesn't pick up, whether he loves me a lot or a little. Are those things under my control? No. What is under my control? Being a good father, making time for my son, setting open channels of communication with my son, building trust with my son. Those things are under my control. The decisions he makes after are not. So, okay, that's where I can spend my energy, providing those things to have a better influence in this other thing that I truly don't have control over and it is not worth worrying about, right? How about a promotion? I want a promotion at work. Is the final decision, is this promotion under my control? No. At the end of the day, once again, all that is within my control is to be the best employee I can be an engaged employee, to provide a service to my company beyond what they ask me for, to be of service to the team and the employees that I work with. Those things are under my control. So once again, that's where I need to focus my energy. Okay, I'm gonna give you a 3-step process here, a kind of a bonus from Dale Carnegie's book, How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. Great book for all you warriors, all of us really. And it's a 3-step process dealing with problems, failures, fears, anything that you're worrying about. Step one, ask yourself, what is the worst that could possibly happen? Okay? What is the worst that could possibly happen? Step two, prepare to accept that if you have to. So I accept the worst thing that could happen to me. Three, I calmly proceed to improve on that. So what's an example? Let's say I'm I'm putting applications for jobs, right? I'm putting applications for jobs. I'm stressed about, I get a call in for an interview. I'm stressed out. Do they want me? Do they not want me? Am I prepared? Am I worthy of this position? What if they don't like, I can worry about these things, but okay, through this process, first, what is the worst that could happen? They don't hire me. Okay. Step two, accept that. Okay, I might not get hired. Step three, how do I improve from that forward? Okay, I might not get hired. I've accepted it, but you know what? How can I move forward from this point? I'm going to spend 1 hour a day, every day, leading up to this interview, preparing for this interview and getting my notes together, doing a little research on the company so I have a little something to connect with them to. See, now those are the things that are within my control, right? That are worth moving from worrying about, focusing, investing in. So that's an example right there. Hope you can use that one. So third one, finally, best time to start. And that is today, right? I'll give you the story here from a man from Versailles, Missouri. He said, I was from a neighborhood of poor schools, bad roads, no investment in community, just bad neighborhood. So I was lonely, I was discouraged. He said I was contemplating suicide. He says he felt success was no longer possible for him. He said, yeah, I was afraid of missing my car payments, my rent payments. I was afraid I didn't have enough money to eat that week. So all these things, right? He said the only thing that kept me from not committing suicide was the thought of the grievance of my sister and the fact that there'd be no money for my funeral, right? So the fact of what his sister was going to go through from his death and the fact there was no money for expense, that was the only thing keeping him alive, pretty much, is what he said. Till he came across an article that said, every day is a new life to a wise man or woman. So every day is a new life. Every day is the opportunity to start over. Forget about the past. That's no longer within our control. It can't even be changed, even if we wanted to. And the future is uncertain. Don't torment yourself about something that's just not certain. We don't have idea what's going to come in the future. But all we can do is prepare today by living in the today and acknowledging that we could start a whole new life today. All right, thank you.